Edward Almara here, out there in the field, and we're back with Peri Whyte, and we were talking a little bit about the Hotel National and the infamous 1946 conference. But Peri, you worked in other places in Havana, and I believe Sloppy Joe's, the famous Sloppy Joe's, was one of them.
I did indeed, yeah, Edward. I was over there at Sloppy's, a big bar in a prohibition, yeah.
And the Cuban president, I believe, Batista, regularly went to Sloppy's with his entourage.
That's right, Edward. Batista would have a big entourage there. He used to have his famous meal, which was perrito calientes, with con cervezas, which is like hot dogs with a few beers.
And aside of Batista, you regularly saw the British actor, Hollywood actor David Niven.
Yeah, that's right. No, this is correct, Edward. I did. It was like David Niven. I didn't really get to speak too much. I mean, he used to throw up a cocktail for him, Ron Collins. There was one thing he used to say was that my face, he said, is like a cross between a 2 pound haddock and an explosion in an old clothes cupboard.
What was his favourite drink?
As I said, he would have a martini or Ron Collins. I guess sometimes he could do a daiquiri, which was the standard.
And how long were you at Sloppy's for?
It was like maybe 18 months or something.
And then you moved on to the Floridilla, I believe.
Yeah, Florida on top of Obispo, yeah, kind of a bar. I was there for a little while.
And Ernest Hemingway, I believe, regularly took a drink in there.
Yeah, look, Edward, Ernest was just so different, yeah. He would prolong a word, a conversation. He would say things like, I hate it when I'm fishing and someone stands behind you. It's just like as though someone was looking over your shoulder when you're writing a letter to your wife.
Right. Was he a bit of a loner, Ham? Was he kind of like took a drink by himself, or was he with friends or colleagues or anywhere else in Havana?
No, look, the Florida people would gravitate there. In fact, before 1949, you could probably walk into Florida and have a drink with him. He'd throw up a daiquiri or something like that.
So you kind of got a call out of the blue from Myalansky. And what was your conversation with Myalansky? What did he offer you?
Well, he would say, "Do you want to go to a bar over at the this new hotel he was throwing up, Hotel Riviera, yeah."
And what was that like? And what were you? That was kind of like mid to late 50s now.
Yeah, when I was there, I said to him one time when I was over at the Florida, "Look, man, I'm cutting out." He said, "Well, he's just like," he said, "Say for me, man," he says, "I love to sleep." He says, "When I'm awake, my life just falls apart." And I'm just thinking, yeah, that's kind of how it is. Yeah, you got to move on.
So you saw, I believe, a weekend. Marilyn Monroe was at the Riviera.
Yeah, I'm like, who could miss her with that eyeglass figure, yeah, and that blonde, platinum blonde hairdo, yeah. I was there. She turned up a couple of times, and I served her a dirty martini.
So we reached the kind of late 50s, and then you had to kind of flee with the revolutionaries, hitting Havana in January '59. How did you handle that? How did you get out?
Well, you know, I got a call from Mayor Linsky. He said, "You want to get? I can get you on the plane." I said, like, I had to be deferential about that because I declined it. Had a bit of a scene of decorum. Me, no, I got out on a sugar boat.
And did you lose much? Was that the kind of like the end of your time in Havana? Did you ever go back?
Well, you know, I kind of lost a suit of clothes and not much. And I got back to Havana when I'm going to get back to Havana, man.
Okay, Perry. Well, that's pretty good. And that is Perry White. His cocktails in Havana, and that is yours truly, Edward Almaro, out there in the field.